everybody, my name is Beth and I am the Steadfast Stitcher, and this is my Flosstube channel where we talk about cross stitch. Welcome, I'm glad you're here today. We have quite a few new subscribers since my last video, so I want to say thank you for joining and hello. I hope you'll continue to enjoy my videos, and if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Now, we're getting close to 3,000 subscribers, just a little under 100 away. So I'll definitely be doing giveaways when that happens. They will probably be e-giveaways since the post office and I don't seem to be getting along at the moment. But yeah, as soon as we hit 3,000 subscribers, I want to celebrate. So I'm glad you're here today, and this month for May, I am doing my Stitchmaynia, which is a sampler Stitchmaynia. So I am working on as many samplers as I can over the course of the month, and I'm using the Tiny Decisions wheel to pick what I'm going to work on. Now I've got it so that it's going to be at least 200 stitches. I can go more, but it's got to be a minimum of 200 stitches in a sampler or Quaker before I can move on to the next one. So I am using the Tiny Decisions wheel. I've had a couple that I've gone over 200 on, and oh yeah, I want to mention too that I'm not... With Tiny Decisions wheel, you have the option of it only coming up once and then it blacks out. So I'm not doing that. So it's entirely possible that a sampler that I've already worked on could come up again, and so it'll get even more love. I'm good with that. And I am so enjoying getting a chance to give my samplers some much needed love. And I do plan on a new start every weekend. One a weekend, not more than one, but one a weekend. I plan on starting a new sampler to add to my ever-growing collection of whips. We won't even talk about how many whips I have right now. It's kind of scary. Okay, so let's get started with what I've worked on. Now, so far, I mean, I don't have any whips that I don't love. I mean, I have a couple that I have UFO'd and they're upstairs in the closet, and I don't know if they'll ever come out again. And actually, none of those are samplers. But so far, I've really enjoyed the projects that have come up on the Tiny Decisions wheel since May 1st. So the first one that I got, or actually, I apologize, this isn't in any particular order, but so one of the ones I've worked on since May 1st is Winter Sampler from Crocette GoGo. I love this one. I also have their Autumn Sampler as a whip, and it is a lot of fun to work on. They both are. So on this one, I did the owl, which he's kind of hard to see on the pattern. But so for my stitches, I decided to put in my Mr. Owl. And this is on 18 count Aida. And it's called In the Shadows from Dying for Cross Stitch. And I will link Dying for Cross Stitch below. They're one of my favorite go-to websites for ordering fabric. And they're pretty quick. So yeah, there's Mr. Owl. I do need to put in some more pine branches, but yeah, he is cute, and I really like this design on this fabric. I think all the colors come through kind of nicely with the blues and the browns on the fabric. Yeah, he is a cutie pie. So I do have some more pine needles, so I'm kind of hoping he'll come back up on the wheel this month, but who knows? So I've got two separate wheels. There's one that's my whips, and there's one for new starts. Oops, excuse me, itchy nose. So each weekend I'll spin the wheel and it'll decide which sampler I'm going to start on, because there's no way I can make up my mind. I have several really nice ones that I picked up at Hobby House. If you saw my last video, I did pick up some beautiful samplers and fabrics while I was there. And I've got a little bit of sampler haul at the end of this video to show you too. And the next one, this was my new start for the weekend. And I showed this in my last video with the threads I'm going to be using. I am using HDF silks, and it's called Nile Blue. Oh, that's coming up nicely. And I am doing this on white 25 count Lugana over 1 with 1 thread of floss, 1 strand of floss. And it is Arabesque by Jen Hicks Creates. And this pattern is so stunning. Now, I started this one with Laura stitching by the shore and Paula stitching in the high heels. And both of them are doing different color schemes from me. So definitely do go check out their channels. I think Laura's doing a red that's similar to this. And Paula, stitching in high heels, is doing black and gold. And I think it's going to really look spectacular. But this is such a fun stitch. And I am really liking it. In fact, I did go over 200 on this one. A little closer to 400. But Laura mentioned in her video last Friday about how she's finding this border relaxing. And I totally agree. The repeating pattern, for some reason, I don't always like borders. But this one, for some reason, this repeating it's very relaxing to stitch on. So this is where I'm at. Come on, camera, focus. And look at that color. Isn't that gorgeous? I love working on this one. Like I said, this border is just really enjoyable to work on. Now, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And this one is long. It is 157 by 243. So it is not a small stitch. But I think it's going to be gorgeous. Anybody remember Holly Hobby? I'm giving away my age, aren't I? But yeah, on just plain 25 count even weave over 1 with 1 strand of the HDF Vicki Clayton silks in Nile Blue. I love Vicki Clayton silks. One of the people in my Zoom group on Facebook turned me on to Vicki Clayton silks, and I'm addicted now. I just love working with them. Let's see, what's next? Let's do this one. This is a fun little one. I'm going to try and put a picture up here, if I remember. But it's the Love Nature Quaker, and I got it on Etsy. The company was formerly called Happy Mood Point. It's now called Daily Pattern Post, and I will link them below in the description. They have a lot of fun patterns at very reasonable prices. A lot of monochromatics, which is just fun. So this is where I'm at with We Love Nature. And I'm going to change mine to just say Love Nature. But I'm using this on 18 count blush from Bestitch Me. And let me show you the floss that I'm using. This is just a DMC variegated, but it's beautiful. This is 4025. I know all their variegated colors have a name, and I can't think of this one right now. But I love the colors in this. And I think it's just stitching up so beautifully. And I really like the blush as the background fabric on this. I think it's so pretty. This does work. Happy Mood Point, now they're daily pattern posts. They do work in Pattern Keeper if you like Pattern Keeper. So I am definitely using Pattern Keeper on this one, and it's very enjoyable. It's funny how everything on my wheel turned out to be this week to be either even weave or Ada, and none of my linen pieces came up. I have a feeling I might be doing all linen next week. We'll see. Oops. I almost put the Vicky Clayton silks in the wrong bag. Bad me. And then I've got, this is my pride and joy, and it has not been out for a while. Handwork Maniac is also working on a project in this DMC color, and it is one of my favorites. This is another DMC variegated that I'm using, and this is 4515, and it's called Paris is the name of it. And you'll see why that fits so perfectly. So this is a Butternut Road pattern. It's an older pattern, Maryland Leather emblem. And this is a photo. Now she did this all in red work, red threads. And I actually saw the model that she stitched at, I believe it was called the Golden Needle in Rochester, New York a few years ago. And just fell in love with the piece. But I decided, since the name of this pattern is the Provence sampler, Paris. It was a perfect fit. Now I'm also doing this one on 25 count Lugana, but this is 25 count potato Lugana, which if you followed my channel for a while, you know this is one of my go-to fabrics. And so this is where I'm at with it right now. So I did put in about 250 stitches on the large alphabet. And actually, I am really hoping that the wheel jumps on this one again, because I love stitching on it. And I'm hoping next time I'd like to get more done on the border as well, because that is so pretty. I really love the way that the DMC variegated floss is stitching up on this. I think it's absolutely stunning. I can't think of the name of the pattern that Handwork Maniac is working on with this, but it's gorgeous. And if you haven't watched her channel, definitely do. I absolutely love her projects, and she's got some great plans that she's doing for Stitchmaynia. She's doing the Blimey Cat method, which is basically working on projects on the same day that she did last Stitchmaynia. But she's got a video out about explaining what she's doing for Stitchmaynia, and it's worth checking out because it's a neat idea. And she can tell you who started the Blimey Cat method, because I am totally blanking on that right now. And that may be something that I do next year, because I am keeping track of what days I'm working on these samplers, so that maybe next year, anything that's not finished, which will probably be quite a few of them, you know, maybe I'll pull them out on the same day again next year and do a Blimey Cat sampler Stitchmaynia. Who knows? That would be fun. I think I would enjoy that. Now, let's see, where is it? Okay. Now this only has a couple stitches in it. It doesn't have the 200 because I pulled this out more to see if I can actually do it. I had mentioned in my last video that I had bought Florence Mary Dickinson. Oops, I'm going to put you on pause for a minute because the zipper's stuck. Well, I ended up having to break the zipper on that bag because it just was not giving it open for me. So I had bought this at Hobby House, Florence Mary Dickinson. I've seen it so many times on Instagram and Facebook and on Flosstube, of course, and I've always really wanted to stitch it. So I finally gave in and decided to get it. Now, the one thing that I was concerned about was the fabric that I picked out with the help of the owner from Hobby House. And if you watch my last video, I had a fantastic time at Hobby House, and I wish I could have stayed all day. But I picked out 46 count Lallybrach by Tabbycat, and I have never stitched on 46 count before. So I was a little concerned because I don't have the best vision if I'd be able to see it. Because normally with 36 count, I've got my stronger readers on and a magnifying light for 36 count. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do 46 count. I may need to end up sending this Lallybrach to my friend Debbie. But so I just put in a few stitches to see if I could actually see it, to do the stitching. And the only problem that I ran into was a really, you know, how sometimes you get that ultra skinny thread on linen. The only time I was having some difficulty was if I would run into one of those really skinny threads. But so this is Lallybrach from Tabbycat, and it is 46 count. So this is going to get stitched on again later in the week. But like I said, I pulled this out just to do a test to see if I could actually work on this fabric, you know, without getting frustrated or making too many mistakes. And I was really happy that I could do it. I'm not going to be the fastest stitcher for this pattern. You know, you're not going to see this finished for quite some time. But I think I'm really going to enjoy stitching this, and it's okay if I don't do it fast. If I'm a slow stitcher on this, I'm okay with that. So, yeah. So I got a few stitches in it, and I think I'm good to go on 46 count. I'm really happy about that because I love this fabric, and that gives, you know, 46 count gives me more options for the future. Oh, and by the way, I have to show you my dragon needle minder because I love it. It says, do not meddle in the affairs of dragons, for you are crunchy and good with ketchup. Yeah, I love this fabric, and I love Florence Mary Dickinson. I am using the DMC for this. And yeah, I am excited. And oh, I'm so relieved that I can work on 46 count and manage it okay. And not in it for the race, I'm in it for the process. I always say that because I'm a process stitcher. Obviously, with the number of whips that I have, I'm obviously a process stitcher. Although, a few more finishes this year would be a good thing. So I have one more whip to show, and then some haul. And this one just came out last night. So it hasn't hit 200 yet, but it's going to be out for a little while longer. And this is Be Kind from Needlework Press. And that's where I'm at on it. And this is the pattern. It's And Be Kind to One Another. This is from Needlework Press, and it is a series of 3 designs. This is number 2, Number 1 is Be Exceedingly Diligent, which is this one right here. And I've seen a couple of my friends, stitchy friends on Zoom work that did this one, and it's really pretty. I have not bought this one yet, and I probably will at some point. But, so this one's horizontal, this one's the vertical one, and number 3 is the square, which I do have, and I'm going to be working on the afterwards, after I finish and Be Kind to One Another. Let me get this out of the plastic. So number 3 in the series from Needlework Press is, this one's might be my favorite. It's Be a Friend. And that is so beautiful. Absolutely love this one. It is 221 by 177, so close to a square. And it calls for all classic colorworks, but it does give the DMC conversions. So, yeah, this is really pretty. And at the bottom it says with, well, you see the Be a Friend here in the corner. And then at the bottom in over 1, it says, without a friend, the world is but a wilderness. And I just love that. So, right now I'm working on And Be Kind. And I started this one as a start along with Daydream Stitcher, Lancashire Stitcher, and Stitchy Sally. And we had it as Be Kind Easter Sal. Now, Lancashire Stitcher has finished hers. I think Stitchy Sally and Daydream Stitcher are also still working on theirs. But, oh, I love this one. I don't know if you can see the little dove right there, too. Is so adorable. But those are all Flosstubers, Daydream Stitcher, Lancashire Stitcher, and Stitchy Sally. And I will link their channels below. They are definitely people to go check out. I love their channels. Now, Be Kind to One Another also is Classic Colorworks, but it does give the DMC conversion. And I went for the Classic Colorworks on this. And so I'm using the Classic Colorworks, and this is on 25 count Dust Bunnies Light from Dying for Cross Stitch. So pretty. And one of the things I like about Dying for Cross Stitch is that a lot of her fabrics, you have different levels to choose from. Like this is the light, but they also have a medium and a dark Dust Bunnies. I have the medium for 1 or 2 other projects, but this is the light version. And I just think it's really pretty. Anyways, that one just came out last night, so it's going to be out for another day or 2 at least. It's hard to put down. Well, this one, oh my goodness, yeah, this one, the lavender and lace, not lavender and lace, I'm sorry, Butternut Road, Provence sampler, and, and Arabesque, the new one from Jan Hicks. They are also hard to put down. I don't want to put them down. I'm hoping they all come back up on the wheel again and I get to work on them again, because they're wonderful. So my plans are to keep up with my sampler Stitchmaynia and continue spinning the wheel and popping in at least 200 stitches on as many projects as I can over the course of the month. So this weekend I will have another new start, and so I'll spin a wheel for that and see what I end up working on. I do have 2 little pieces of haul. Uh, I am so easily unabled, it's crazy. But, okay, so I was minding my own business on the Jan Hicks site on Etsy, right? Because she's got the Arabesque in PDF, and I decided I wanted that as well because it works in Pattern Keeper. I was just going to go on there and get the PDF version, right? That's it. I was just going to do it and get off. No. I decided to browse. Of course I did. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I just fell in love with the colors of this. So, this is a French antique sampler reproduction from Jan Hicks Creates. I'm going to say it's Chappuis is the last name. So, it's Louise Shappi, 1844. And man, oh man, did I fall in love with the colors. I saw this and it literally leapt into my Etsy cart. I had no choice. It had to be mine. There was no choice in the matter. But oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Now, this does work in Pattern Keeper, but it doesn't capture this section up in here, because these are specialty stitches. So, but everything else is in Pattern Keeper. So I'm fine with that. So it's just the one section that I'll do off of the paper, and the rest I can use Pattern Keeper for. But, oh yeah, it literally jumped into my cart. There was no choice in the matter. It's so beautiful. Yeah, the colors are so vibrant. I love the blues in the border. The blue ribbon along in here. It's gorgeous. I'm a sucker for blues anytime. But, okay, the other one I got, I'm blaming entirely on Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot. I think it was just her last video. She had this finished, and then she had another huge finish. You've got to go check her out, because the last video, she's got a giant finish that is absolutely stunning. One of her other finishes was a piece that I absolutely fell in love with and had to have. And this is also from Needlework Press. This is M+A, 1853. And she had this on her channel on her last video finished. And I just fell in love with it and had to have it. I just love that it's a little bit different. The flowers are a little bit different. The pattern's kind of a wibbly wobbly and a lot of fun. And just gorgeous, gorgeous colors. This one also calls for overdyes, Classic Colorworks, and Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. But it also gives the DMC conversion for these. This one is 121 by 149. And it's just lovely. Let's see. Possibly a Welsh sampler, but they don't know definitively. It was stitched on with wool on perforated paper. And let's see, the model was stitched on 36 count Pitches plus Heartland. I haven't chosen a fabric for this yet, but I do have all the DMC floss for it. I do have a few of the overdyes as well, so I might do a mix of some of the overdyes and some DMC, depending what I have in my stash. But so both of these are going on my new start wheel for Sampler Stitchmaynia. And so we'll see if I get to start one of these this month. That would be fun. But those are my 2 pieces of haul. And yeah, when we get to 3,000, I am definitely going to be doing some e-giveaways. Yeah, I'm very excited. It was wonderful to see how many people enjoyed my video last week, or 2 weeks ago. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It really kind of knocked my socks off. But I want to thank all of you for joining me today. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for all the wonderful supportive comments. I really appreciate all of you, and it means a lot. So I've got... Try again. So I'm just going to say I will see you in 2 weeks with my next Sampler Stitchmaynia update. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and take care of each other. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.